Hey, this is Matt O'Leary, and today I'll be reviewing the 14th album, The Magic, by the Jackson Pollock of indie rock, the absolute epitome of everything quirky, Deerhoof. The Magic is Deerhoof's first album since, I think, 2014's La Isla Bonita, and that album was my first exposure, actually, to Deerhoof. I had always heard the name but never really dug into them. But it's been really fun to go back and find so much material over the past 20 years or so, since the late 90s, mid 90s. They've just put out an album basically every year, every 2 years, and they've been so consistent in quality over that time. I think if you're just discovering the band, Satomi Matsuzaki's voice is really an acquired taste. Her voice can really woo you with its childlike cadence and lack of vibrato, but there are also moments of just intense power verging on some hardcore punk, especially in their early years. You cradle and caress this cute little deer, and then out of nowhere, back kick, the hoof cracks you on the dome. And like I said before, all their albums are so just remarkably consistent over time. It's actually hard to keep track of which one is which because the sound is really so similar and so unique to Deerhoof. Their albums are also usually pretty short at about 35 minutes, sort of in that range. With song lengths about 2 to 3 minutes typically. If you need an example of this knack for brevity, go listen to The Green Cosmos from 2005. That thing is just a heavy gut punch in 7 short tracks. And separate songs aside, this band often shifts violently in style and sound just within one song from section to section. So digesting an album as a whole can take a little while. You get the idea that Deerhoof is up to the same old shtick on the opener, The Devil and His Anarchic, Surrealist Retinue, with its frantic shuffle and rattling guitars. This is punk, it's surf rock, it's got some classical vibes. I love that reverb-drenched guitar that slingshots across the mix from left to right on the chorus. This is everything Deerhoof does well, jammed into one song. The band goes on to deliver some of their most immediate tracks of their career, each one with its own distinct identity. All the fat just seems to be chiseled down, which makes it just unbelievable that all these songs were written and recorded in just 7 days in an abandoned office building in New Mexico. One of their guitarists, Ed Rodriguez, hollers out some very Ramones-esque vocals on the under 2-minute but still extremely effective That Ain't No Life to Me. And I really just can't get enough of that almost gospel moment in the chorus of Life is Suffering. Higher and higher and higher. That song takes all the tragedies of existence and turns them on their head as Matsuzaki sings of continuing to search, continuing to learn in the midst of a lot of darkness, or not a lot of brightness. And in the next song, which is the longest on the album, I'm convinced that Deerhoof are indeed the criminals of the dream. It's almost like Satomi is trying to defend the band and just the ease in which they go about their business, in which they just churn out great music. She's almost pleading with us to enter into that space, to enter into this unrestrained creativity. The song Learning to Apologize comes at us with that normal monosyllabic vocal delivery, plus a guitar lead that sounds almost exactly off a Third Eye Blind record. Deerhoof then does a really strange cover of a song by the 1940s doo-wop band The Ink Spots, which is called I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire. So they're mixing this mid-century pre-rock and roll love ballad with a downright arresting jazzy trap beat. Yeah, jazz trap. This combo makes for the freaking coolest little song. It's gorgeous, but shocking. But gorgeous. This album has all the mathy polyrhythms and jarring stylistic juxtapositions that you'd expect from this band. But there are also straight up rockers like Acceptance Speech and Plastic Thrills, which is really a testament to just the overall quality of all these tracks, that they can put these songs that are so good, so single-worthy, I think they were the singles, so late on the album. The closing song, Nurse Me, is probably one of my least favorite tracks with some really creepy and almost Freudian-like phrases. But even that one, it just pales in comparison to the rest of the songs. On its own, it's really an emotionally provocative song. The whole thing ends pretty abruptly, I feel like. Just like that, the album's over, really. But I feel like that's a characteristic of Magic itself. It's that elusiveness that makes it special. And this band is special. See, the thing about a Deerhoof album is it never feels conceptualized too far in advance. They're always just letting the creative process happen. They just create without too much fear or too much concern for the consequences. It doesn't feel contrived. It's natural. It's magic. The magic rids me of all the defenses, all the hesitancies I've collected with age. And it sends me back into that reckless abandon and vitality of childhood. So overall, I'm giving The Magic by Deerhoof an almost perfect 9.5 out of 10. I just don't think there are many other ways that I can enjoy this album more than I did. It's just fantastic. So if you're looking for a band to become your new favorite band, I recommend Deerhoof. Very sincerely, I think if you want to start with an album, this one is a good starter. It kind of covers all the bases of what I think this band does well. So start with this one and then go back to some of their earlier work like Apollo with Chris Cohen on guitar. He's no longer in the band, but he was. It was a little more punky. It was a little heavier. So if you're looking for that, start early. Anyway, I'm just rambling. So thank you so much for watching this. Let me know what you think about the album, if it really moved you the way that it moved me. I feel so strongly about this. So let me know what you think and like this video, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And again, thank you.